Seeing Peterbot fish in a finals is very odd. I think he's just bored. I don't understand what he's doing here. Maybe there's some hidden tech. Fishing, just maybe I'm missing something here, guys, but I don't know. Peterbot makes plays that are impossible to read. His movement, angles, and fights feel so unpredictable. Today, I'm breaking down his solo Cash Cup win, and it's a perfect example of why he's so hard to fight. So let's break down what makes him so difficult to beat. What are we thinking? I think low-key, we could do this. We could do the first place with 5 kills for Peterbot. It's actually a good timing. Going into his last hour, he needed it to do good. He was probably already in first with 2 wins. It's a big game for him. If he doesn't get this win here, if he duds the game, it's not even a top 10. Starting out here, he's obviously landing flooded frogs in solos. He's already good points right now. I think he's like, what, probably like 200 plus points. He knows the spot perfectly. For those that are looking to play flooded frogs, take notes, because this is probably the best spot to land as a solo, probably the best spot to land as a team. And I have not dug into this spot at all. I'm just gonna assume that Peterbot's gonna do the right things and get the most loot fastest. Take note to where he's breaking, like how he's working through these buildings. He breaks through these sides perfectly every time. He obviously has a lot more hours than all of us at the spot. And he gets super stacked right away. He's already got everything he needs. Still a really contested POI and still doesn't have a pearl, so he can't go for like the vault, but that's what he does here. We'll kind of 4x it and kind of skip through. Guarantees him mobility, gets the pearl. Now he wants to go for the bunker. Cracks this guy here. Let's slow this back down. I mean, right there, that's just him just getting in a position, getting a pearl, and taking the bloom fight. Like, that's nothing crazy, but he has the high ground, so his peak's better, and his opportunity to get out is better. And now you're trying to run from Peterbot, and it's not going to be good for you. Little low ground peak. Pump out, holding the wall. He knows he plays. Peterbot is such a good player. He plays off of bait of players seeing the opportunity. Right? This guy, right? You're looking from this angle. You see there's no wall here, right? There's no cones. He's reading that. He waits for him to break the wall, like timings the wall, puts the wall down, stops the cone down. And I think he tried to go for like a cone reset, but didn't get it. He just knows. He's just playing to what you're gonna do. He just waits for you to make the mistake. He might try to phase in here. Nope, he's not. He's out. He's got him running. Now coming back in, Peterbot's gotta just do what he knows in the spot. He's gonna go try to loot as much as he possibly can. He doesn't know there's other guys here, not yet at least. And this is, again, the power of landing at the same spot that he lands in trios, is he knows the spot like the back of his hand. He could just come over here, get the rock. Okay, come get this rock. Get this ammo. Okay, let me take it for chest one that might not be taken. Let me just go, you know. This one's never taken, so he goes, gets that, right? It's like he just running through what he knows best. Interesting to see him not get the vault. Looks like he's not going to go for it just because he's a little too late with the pearl. That guy definitely got it before him. Go back here. This is just a simple fry. But catching the player off guard, that's all it is. And he was just intentionally just trying to disengage to go fish. Like, I mean, he's not even that close to a water source like the zone. You know, he's going to have to be fishing in storm or go to the river to the right. But he gets a fry. Only 60 damage or so, 50 damage. Instant stops to go down for some control. Pickaxes straight to his pump, right? Very simple. This is just common baits, right? Pickaxe pump. Wait from the edit. It looks like the guy shot the wall for him, like trying to pre-fire. So then he shot it. The enemy shot the wall. Peterbot grabbed the back, boxed him up. I mean, he goes for actually a nice shot. I think is this G money or is this like a different person? He goes for a decent shot here, but he just gets maxed like out of nowhere. Maybe Peterbot did pump the wall. I'm not really sure. Hard to tell with replay. But he goes for a decent shot here. I mean, he's quick, but Peterbot's just faster, I guess. I mean, he just knows, right? He turns around. The guy's 170 HP. He's got a great, this is a great, not a horrible peak, but like the timing of it, the speed of him going up, straight down was definitely adequate enough. And Peterbot just hits him 100. Or I don't even know what, 100 and something. And then he just goes up and the guy's already lost the fight. At that point, he's already so low. Peterbot is not even trying to make a good peek, not even trying to take a good angle. He's 50-50, swinging, taking the fight. And now he's 5-5-5 with the pearl, with minis, with the rod if he wants it. Like, he's got everything he could possibly need at this point in the game. And he just opts to fish. Seeing Peterbot fish in a finals is very odd. So he runs the solo heals, infinite heals loadout. He's got the fishing rod with shield fish, so he can just pop those, keep healing fast, and keep fishing as he goes through. He gets tagged, no big deal. Stop near water. I mean, as we can see with the map, there is a ton of water, and especially with pearls, you're able to pretty much, if you're not on a water source, pearl to a water source, then 1 or 2 shots of a pearl. I mean, right there, he was not even close to the water, pearl straight to it, and now he's able to fish again. Caps the pearl, drops the rod as well, so that's actually interesting. He's playing, I mean, he's playing with, like, no rule set. Like, it is not surprising because it's Peterbot and he's so talented that he kind of can. But he's coming in here, getting a pearl, pearling away to just, I guess, bait Chimp out from what I'm understanding. And then goes back to try to see if he maybe thought that he would chase him on a pearl or thought he'd be in the open. So I think he's just playing with players to see what they're doing. And again, he gets fried. I don't even know who. Chimp. All good. He goes back, gets his fishing rod, starts to fish again. Infinite heal strat. But again, I think this is like somewhat of, in this moment, right? Again, we know he does have a great game this game. But in this moment, it is like a lapse of just the way Peterbot is. Like, he's just doing all of this for nothing, right? Like, he just runs over, lurks on Chimp, pearls away, comes back, gets fried, then pearls all the way back to where he just started at. And it's just like, why? Just why? Just go fight somebody on the edge of the map. Like, I think he's just bored. I don't understand what he's doing here. Maybe there's some hidden tech, but fishing. Just maybe I'm missing something here, guys, but I don't know. I guess he wants to sit and storm and fish. Maybe he was going for 4 floppers and he just was greeting for it because he could. Then he only holds 3. I don't understand it. This is what I'm saying. Peterbot's a great player, but this is pretty AFK. The only thing that I can think of why this would be a smart play from him would be that he just thought this area was too contested. There's too many players nearby, and he just simply wanted to wait for it to clear up, which it can make some sense because he is, I mean, if we look at the map, he is pretty much dead center of the map, or he's, you know, centered to a POI, the most center POI rather. So there's going to be a lot of traffic that goes through here. There's going to be people, all the people from the north here are going to come straight this way, whether they're going to go through the river or they're going to come like this. There's going to be a ton of traffic here, so it makes sense why you'd want to just kind of chill and wait. But waiting for that long is a lot when it's 46 up. Like, it's a very dead game, and obviously we know Peterbot is the player he is. So now he opts, uses all his floppers to cap his metal, which is great. Comes back in, picks up med kits because it's, what is it taken for 2? No, it's not. Goes for an extra small fry, gets a rod actually instead. Very smart. He's good. Cap mats. I mean, he's definitely not great on storm sickness, but he'll be fine. And even in this entire process here, when he's coming in, it doesn't matter if he gets hit. He just can fish. So now he's back in. Let's fish again. The game gets simple. I think, yeah, his goal. Actually, I don't even know his goal. He's already capped. I don't understand. I don't understand. He's going for 1 more flopper. That's the only thing I can think of. He got the flopper. He's still fishing. He's going for infinite. I don't understand it. There's no point in doing what he's doing here. I guess to get extra shield, but I just don't understand. Like, I don't understand. There's no benefit. And this much fishing. Just to leave it 3 seconds later and get nothing out of it. And I think this is actually a really interesting point to show here, but just look at the minimap here. I mean, look at the clump from the people in the water. And I'll say this, I actually have not played much fishing in this season where I've been like intentionally holding a rod to try to fish, to cap my shield. I don't think it's a bad strategy. I think it's a great strategy, rather. I just haven't been wanting to do it, / been in the opportunity to like play my game like that. Typically, I'm playing more ahead, but it does really show you how many people are doing it, because obviously all these people are near water. Like anyone that's over here, or you know, Chimp or this Braids or whoever it is probably not playing to fish. And they're kind of reaping the benefits of it. I mean, look at Chari, who's a great EU player. Agers, who's a great player on NA. Nut. These guys aren't fishing, and they're out of this clump, so their next rotate is going to be 10 times easier. And we're seeing with Peterbot's gameplay here that like it's not like fishing is a game-breaking mechanic that you have to do, or else everyone would be doing it. He's fishing so much that he's just leaving it behind and just breaking even. Like, it doesn't really do anything, right? It allows you to sit in storm like he did earlier to farm his metal. Now he pulls a good zone here. He's good. He's absolutely tweaking right now. We'll skip ahead here a bit. All right, we'll let it play out. But for the most part, it's a pretty dead game. 38 up. Somewhat dead. But everyone's clumped in the water. I mean, you can even, again, see just how Chimp and these other players, Chari, Agers, Nut, are going to be able to get to the dead side if they want to. And just avoid this clump of players. Next zone pulls. Peterbot decides to go pretty early. Instantly pearls. Boxes and brick, right? Very important. Doesn't waste any metal. Doesn't waste wood, or doesn't use wood because it's too light. But doesn't use metal because he knows he can get brick back if he needs to. He could simply just next zone pearl here, farm that rock. Like, obviously that's out of zone in this scenario, but in other options, he could definitely do it. He goes, boxes. And you're seeing here again, he's using a bit of brick and metal here, which is just to help him stay more safe with the position that he's given, that he's putting himself into. I mean, he's in the open here. He's pinchable from many different angles. I think that's the way you need to be looking at these when to build what type scenarios, is how the lobby sees you, right? So this guy can spray Peterbot. This guy can spray Peterbot. I mean, these guys, everyone can spray. If there's a guy here, he can spray Peterbot. So he's got to use metal. Versus this guy, right? Like, yes, he's in between of these players, but he's a little bit closer to, I guess, a clump, which is going to help a lot, rather than being the solo focus. Like, not everybody is going to be willing to just all turn on this guy and spray him. Yes, he's in the middle of everybody, but again, if this guy starts spraying him, then this guy has an angle to spray on Chimp, right? But no one gets punished for spraying Peterbot, right? No one. They can all sit back here in a cone and spray him out, and no one does anything. You know, no one loses anything. It's just a bonus. Again, I don't think it happens to Peterbot here. He looks like he's just going to try to bully this guy on the edge. But that's how you should be looking at scenarios of like, okay, what do I build when? Why do I only use brick? When do I use metal? Again, he gets a kill here. Caps his pearl. Caps his white HP. Now he goes in game. Now it's moving zone. So he's going to opt to just pearl into zone. Just straight into zone. He's going a little bit on the left side, but I think he's going to probably pop it. Let's see what he does. He's probably going to pop it and work his way. Yeah, work his way to the left. I mean, he kind of popped it to the left. A little center at this point, but let's see what he does here. Not that you can't play this position in solos, and with the mats that he has, 93 builds, is not the worst. I think, personally, I would love to see him on this left side here, but we'll see how he ends up getting out of this. Not the hardest thing with 32 players alive, and obviously Peterbot being the player he is. I do also find it very interesting, just a side note. I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but well, let me try to find the exact box. I think it was around, I actually don't even know. Here, maybe? I think it was here. Yeah. This box right here that Peterbot made earlier, he built it with no cone on his top. And he only built a stair because he got sprayed. Right? So, like, it's very interesting that he does something like this when it feels like it is obviously easy for him to just, like, every time, cone floor, boom. Right? And it's not a bad thing, but it's just an interesting mechanic choice from him, right? Same thing. Like, he's playing with no cone and no floor. It's almost like we talked about earlier, where he's playing off of what other players do to him, because it it pulls the other players into like a more unfortunate position. That makes sense. And I think that that's exactly what makes Peterbot so good is you think that you've got him, but he knows what you're going to do and he's going to make the counter to what you're going to do. And he lets you think that you've got him every time. He lets every player think that you've got him. So right here, if someone wants to aggress him on the top, he's going to like back up, right? Let me see if I can. There he is. He's going to back up here and just let him grab the top, smack it, put a cone down, edit it, pump him, 100, jump in his box, dead. The guy thought he had him, but he didn't. Right here, the guy's going to smack the cone. This guy's going to try to come up, spray in, thinks he's got him, dead. Right? Rather than trying to play super protective and play on your lair. And I think that when Peterbot gets in a scenario where he needs to be protective and the guys are accidentally spraying in, let's say like because he does, this is a scenario where you could definitely have somebody on height, he doesn't know it, but just spray in real quick or double spray, or obviously double spray, so it's solos. But this is a scenario where anything like that could happen. But if it does happen, again, Peterbot just pulls out his atypical Peterbot mechs, starts to build 1,000 boxes, and again, it's just not a positive scenario for the player that's fighting him. So right there, we're just seeing him jump down and slide through zone. I mean, it's pretty simple, but yeah, kind of works his way through. He's just got a very exact idea in mind, right? He's not just doing it to do it. He's coming through here, knows that this guy's on the wall, so he stares aside. Then he comes through here, knows that he had this edit open, so he knows this is a threat from Xanda, stares his back, and now he can play off of whatever he wants. But again, like, it's not the best position to be in. I don't think anybody should be watching Peterbot's gameplay from this game in particular and be like, this guy's a smart guy. Like, he's dead center in the zone, but he's just Peterbot. He's just mechanicked out of his mind. And, I mean, yeah. I also don't think he's playing this with, like, full intent to be the world's best solo player. Like, I don't think he cares. Like, he's probably just running through it. Like, let me just see what I can do here for fun. Next zone pulls far. He knows that he's at a low threat point, right? So he uses wood. He also knows that he only has metal left. I mean, he's got 302 for mats. So he only has metal left. He's forced to either burn his metal here or burn his wood. Obviously, this is the timing to use the wood because of a very low threat point. Again, just very interesting. Doesn't have cones, doesn't have floors, like, especially in wood, right? Yeah. I mean, it's hard for me to say that Peterbot is like a dumb player because obviously I know how good he is at the game and how experienced, like, how much success he's had in the last year. But this is a moment where it's like, okay, like, come on. Like, I don't know. I can't defend this one if he dies to this. Like, it's not even a mechanics thing. He's just gonna die from behind. Like, this guy is right here. If he's a little bit less AFK, that guy's breaking in. Pros ahead, uses metal. Pretty simple, right? And now he starts to box fight and do Peterbot things. And he's just non-stop looking. Next zone goes. Now he's quickly trying to plan for the next zone. He's got 10 seconds, but... Actually, he's got a bit of space to move. But... He looks, he sprays, and then he knows he has to go. He has to figure out his rotate. He has to figure out what he's going to do for the next zone with enough time. And that's, again, what makes Peterbot so good. Because he's able to be aggressive and do these kind of crazy, stupid plays, but still able to think on his toes and be smart and know when to go. So he goes, and he uses his brain. He goes, wraps left side, right? So, like, he's breaking the rules of what you would think would be the rules for Peterbot, right? You would think that this player, like, if he goes to the center zone, it's a bad play. But he makes it out enough, I guess. Like, he makes it consistent enough to where because he's so mechanical, maybe it leads to more kills for him. But then when he needs to, and he needs to think on his toes, and he needs to be smart, he goes left side. He's a very smart player, but he plays with the intention to bait other players out by making stupid plays himself. And I think, again, that's just why he's so hard to fight. But he grabs left side here, knowing he only has wood, and needs to get out of a scenario. Goes left here, goes up, sees height. I'm assuming he sees either height's free. Nope, he doesn't. But Yeah, he just knows he gets buried there. Like, it pulls through the builds. He can clearly understand the way this lobby was built out. It's gonna pull straight through builds. So he goes straight, pulls up, finds actually a lucky ass body. Caps his wood a bit. And I wonder if this is when we'll start to see him go for height with the amount of builds that Ozon's putting down. But here again, he's just going to opt to just jump and go. And again, he's very intentional with what he's doing. He's from before where he would jump down and slide and did the stare at his back and kind of went through. Like, he's doing the same thing. He's jumping, knowing that he's going next to a player. So he's going to cone himself, goes straight to the cone, comes up, jumps up past the cone to give himself that extra boost, because the cone sometimes won't even do enough. If he's too slow on it, the guy could floor him, whatever. He's going to just cone, jump straight through to get to the next box. And then again, yeah, he sees height, is unaware, so he goes for a chop out. Fall damage on one, throw on the other. And now it's Peterbot versus this guy. Peterbot goes for the chop out. He actually chops him out. Hits a cone on him. Hits the little wall climb. That's too sneaky, bro. He hits the wall climb. That's insane. Goes up. Interesting pearl play here, right? What is he gonna do? He's getting stuck. He's in this scenario where he can't really waterfall down because the guy's looking at him. So he shoots his pearl high so he can pop it in enough time to fall down and play back on height. Again, he has the builds to floor this guy. He has the builds to wall him. He has the builds to pre-wall him and cone edit it out and do all the fancy mechanical things that we've all been trained for, right? Like, that we've all been practicing. But he plays with none of that. But he plays to bait the player into him. So he literally waits for him to edit the cone, to put the wall down, make the player run against the wall, jump out, and now the guy falls down, fumbles his builds, and there you go. Very interesting that he goes for that pump play to phase in and then baits it with a stare, which is just, I don't know if this is too deep to think into it, but it does make some sense. The guy now flips the stare because he thinks that this play right here with Peterbot trying to aggress to jump in, right? Thinking that the guy's gonna jump in before. He comes with the stare, baits it down, maybe thinking that this guy's gonna, or now Peterbot's going to phase in through the stare to jump in the box. Just an extra bonus thing to make sure this guy does not go up. Like, you are not coming back up because he's out of mats, 4 builds, but you never know. Now you got ties and FPS coming up. Peterbot takes the height again. He controls it. Nobody can go for it past this point. It's also something funny to mention that he hasn't got hit once. Like, all the fishing that he did, he's got some siphon kills, but that's it. And then again, the quick grab the wall, pump him, doesn't jump in the box, doesn't go for a spray, understands his white HP, understands the situation, and jumps ahead from the cone onto the next build, pumps the wall as he's jumping to get it to weak, so he can either see the player in there healing, spray and kill him, or just see what he's doing in general. He sees the guy's not in the box. He goes to the side, goes to the spray. He quickly sends the mats because he knows it's more than one siphon. If it's just one siphon, I think that he could probably be okay without it. I still think it's the play with the way that siphon is actually in the game. When I'm talking about more than one siphon, I mean siphon mats. So if I say the guy siphon mats, he's got 5, 5, 5, like 50, 50, 50. If the guy has double siphon, he's got 100, 100, 100. So, he goes in here knowing he's going to get 300 total builds. And then he goes straight to his mechanics of the pro, which is pretty simple, right? Just go down, use your siphon that the game actually gave you to heal yourself in your white HP, go for the mats that is double siphon, throw back up, and take height. And now, again, if anybody goes for height now, he's got too many mats. If we compare the rest of the lobby, 27 builds on height versus 54 on, let's see, second to low. Agers has 9 on low ground, 3, 2, 18, 0, 29. So he's got like second, third most mats in the lobby, and the other guys that has second most mats or the most mats is on ultimate low ground. So he's in a good spot here. Skater goes up, not having a lot of mats. I think 5 builds. He's just making a pro play, which from Skater's perspective isn't a bad play. Like, you've got nothing. You've really probably can't get low ground with all the builds in the way. Just send height and go for what you can here. But again, you're fighting Peterbot on height. And Peterbot's not even going for anything crazy. He's not trying to just instantly kill the guy to clip him. He's just going for simple high ground retakes, side jumps, things that we can all know and we all pull out all the time. But he's just doing it to a more simple level. The backwards floor jump shot allows you to hit that back angle when someone's like this, right? Rather than trying to wait for them to jump out in front of you and do the typical like T-food pump where you're like walking, pump, build the floor, walking, pump, build the floor. He's doing it the other ways where he's just swinging here, jumping, pump, builds the floor before he lands. Obviously a great mechanic that he just pulled out there that didn't get him the kill, didn't do anything, but almost. Now, what is it? 1v1v1. One player's playing heal off. Who's going to lose? Agers versus Peterbot. Peterbot's got 1 build. Agers has 33 builds. Didn't get the siphon, so Peterbot's going to be getting siphon for a minute now. But the mats. I think, yeah, the white HP for Agers just becomes unfortunate. And there you go. The other guy, Nemo, started to play heal off way too early. But I'd be curious to what Peterbot might have done here. I think that it would have been over for him. I think that because he didn't get the siphon on Agers, he would have been barely ticking back from the first guy. I guess, yeah, he probably would have won with that kill that he had on Nico. Yeah. So big things to note from Peterbot and his solo game here in the win was that he does play very untraditional. He does things like rotate to the middle of the zone. He does things like sit and storm for no reason. Like he doesn't do things with a head on his shoulders. He plays just very loosely. And then a lot of times when you're fighting him, he plays for you to fall into his trap, which is just the hardest thing to do. I think at the baseline of fighting, you've got like reading the player and understanding what they're going to do. And then you're getting to the level where you can actually like kind of bait the player a little bit into making the right play or make him make the right play or make the wrong play rather. And then you've got Peterbot's level where he's just so good at being standard default. Like if you were to fight Peterbot and you were to tell him in a voice chat, say, hey man, I want you to just try to edit course me. Okay, I'll do it. All right, I want you to play slow. Okay, I'll do it. Okay, I want you to play pickaxe aggressive. Okay, I'll do it. And only aggress with your pickaxe. Okay, fine. I want you to only aggress with your gun. Okay, fine. I want you to let me bait you. Okay, fine. He will kill you in all of those ways because he's mastered all of those ways. And that's why it is just so challenging for anybody to fight Peterbot. He's just insane. So 5K win for the Cash Cup, little wrap up game here. And that's it. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. And don't forget, I host a Tuesday Thesis every single Tuesday at 2 p.m. CST. So get your gameplay watched, get your questions answered, and I'll see you there.